Why? There will never be a cure for cancer. Hello, invisible friends. I am Logo, and I want to share with you the logical steps we must take if we have a major disease and how to face it while continuing to attend to the treatments and recommendations of your doctors. To light a fire, you need 3 essential elements, known as the fire triangle. A fuel. This is the material susceptible to rusting, such as wood, paper, or gasoline. The oxidizer. Oxygen is the oxidizer necessary for combustion to occur. Activation energy. A heat or energy source is required to start the combustion process. There is also a process called exothermic. An example would be when aluminum oxide and iron oxide are 2 different chemical compounds, but they combine to form a mixture known as aluminous ferro-oxide or thermite. In this case, oxygen is found in the compounds to be reacted, releasing a lot of energy when they are turned on and being impossible to turn off the reaction since it feeds back with the oxygen that it itself releases. We are going to deal with the energetic reactions of the cell that occur in the mitochondria. As we have already mentioned, we can use glucose or ketones as fuel. Ketones are processed in the liver from fats despite what the industry and junk science want to sell us. We are designed to work energetically much more efficiently with ketones than with glucose. In fact, the brain works 25% better, as do all our organs. If you doubt it, think this. At birth, babies remain in ketosis even drinking breast milk, and ketosis begins to stop with processed foods such as formula milk, etc. Having clarified the subject, we have 2 cellular fuels: ketones, high-power fuel, and glucose, a cheap fuel. Our oxidizer is oxygen, which is transported in the blood to be carried to each and every cell in our body. One of the functions of the cardiovascular system is to make that transport. If we order a meal at home, no matter how perfect the communication system is, such as streets, avenues, etc., in a city, there is no one who is in charge of definitively delivering the order in question by taking the food ordered to our door. In the case of our agency, many times the problem occurs as a parcel that arrives at our building with its vehicle. But when it finishes making the delivery, it is difficult for the driver to finish it because he does not know which door to knock on or encounters obstacles on the way. In short, the delivery is not 100%, and this loss of oxygen efficiency is systematically caused by several factors. One of them is glycation of the cell membranes due to excess glucose becoming sticky. This condition is much more noticeable in diabetic people who, despite having the correct oxygen levels, their oxygen delivery capacities, especially in the extremities, decrease. Tissue death begins, thus forcing terrible amputations. In the same way, the optimal oxygen incapacities in the cell versus the excessive volume of intracellular glucose form the perfect environment to seek an adaptive survival of the mitochondria. Therefore, the cell generates fermentation, that is, oxygen-free energy, which is the origin of the tumor cell or the so-called cancer. Therefore, there can be no cure for a metabolic event. The topology in the physics of combustion has been altered. It is like wetting a wood with water and then wanting to burn it with a match. The situation will be against it. It's like drinking a lot of alcohol and being annoyed by drunkenness. It's crazy. A metabolic disease in general refers to the organic processes that we cause when we eat substances that do not really feed or nourish us. That is, they poison us, and in most cases it is a slow process. We must understand our nature and how we function best and why. The state of ketosis in the brain keeps us healthy due to its high energy efficiency and stability. On the other hand, if we use sugar as our main fuel, our brain will deteriorate since being less energy efficient requires high volumes of glucose in the brain, and that in turn stimulates insulin to lower sugar peaks, creating stress and energy deficiency in neurons. It is like accelerating at high power to apply the brakes very soon in a motor vehicle. Those constant ups and downs in the energy supply deteriorate the neural system or network in the brain. This is noticed more pronouncedly when we move away from youth, since the body cannot keep up with the stressful rhythm between the need for fuel and its own regulation due to excessive. Alzheimer's and cognitive degeneration go hand in hand with our ignorance of our biology. All these issues can be controlled by ourselves and should be knowledge of everyone and for everyone. thus providing us with a healthier life, since it is not others who should make life decisions for you. Each one can follow a healthier and happier path or carry on his shoulders a burden of ignorance and disdain that will be the parents of our own misfortune. Do not let yourselves be indulging by the learned despair within or by other people who, like birds of ill omen, preach defeatism. If you like the video and want to help spread this information, remember to click on the bell and subscribe to receive more information like this. Remember that step by step we can improve. The worst thing is to do nothing. Invisible friends, see you in the mirror.